Greetings! Yes, and this is the new Maiden track. I wanted to do some commentary on it because I've been following Maiden since I was a kid, and the new record sounds great, and I wanted to share my emotions and my thoughts about it. So enjoy. Straight off the bat, we got some acoustic guitar, very atmospheric. Looks like one of my old buddies, this guy. Time on the hi-hats. So, straight off the bat, we've got a very different Maiden intro. It's quite country, quite American sounding. We haven't really had that. I don't think Maiden have done something like that before, so that's kind of interesting. It reminds me of kind of early 90s, mid 80s Maiden, when they were kind of experimenting a bit and, you know, with sounding a bit more American and sounding not as heavy as kind of Power Slave and the earlier albums. So yeah, we've never had a Maiden intro that sounds like that before. And then my next initial thinking is this riff. That reminds me of Blaze Bayley era of Maiden. Reminds me of like silently decide the souls in the fields of futile war. You know, what tune is that? It's of the X Factor. War horse and war machine, curse the name of liberty. What is it called? War horse and war machine, curse the name of liberty. Marching in the mud and rain. What are we fighting for? Is it worth? It reminds me of the aftermath of the X Factor. It's a very Celtic sounding Maiden. Maiden have always kind of, I say always, like that's the sound to me that Maiden are most famous for, is they're going back to their Celtic roots and doing stuff that you might hear on like a fiddle or a violin, and incorporating that into, back then, the new wave of British heavy metal, which sort of came out of Number of the Beast and that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is very we haven't heard this combination of sounds from Maiden before, but yeah, going back to that signature Celtic, very Irish sound that you might hear this on a flute or a violin. So this video is pretty interesting as well. I mean, like, it's like from the guy walking through the desert and collapsing, with I'm thinking of, religious imagery. Maiden have always done the kind of subtle religious thing, but Number of the Beast and stuff, I say that. Maiden were accused of being devil worshippers in the 80s, with a bunch of people that played records backwards. They were playing the Maiden records backwards and calling Maiden devil worshippers. But if you're the ones playing records backwards, you're Satan. Bill Hicks. So yeah, we've got lots of different religious characters and religious icons from different both cathartic, non-cathartic religious symbology going on here. And yeah, it's interesting because we've got death riding on motorcycles, or like, I think they look like these characters are all death. Maybe death personified. Maybe they're eddies underneath there. And then we've got these. I think I saw Buddha. We've got this corporate fat cat driving his limo, and the shame of the British Empire. These blue suits with the Union Jack pants. Very suggestive, and this caught my eye as well. This is like what looks to be, typically a Krishna or a Buddha type monk character with his shaven head, carrying and pulling the missile. These people depicted as slaves. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to this part. So who's the blue character? Is that Shiva or who are the blue deities that we know? I don't know. This is interesting. Who's this character? Is that going to be Eddie? interesting guitar solo. I can't tell who it is. Normally, I can tell straight off the bat, but with later Maiden stuff, it seems that they're all, Dave, Yannick, and Adrian are all kind of, with the newer solos. It seems like they're just trying to sound like each other on purpose just to throw us off. But I don't know. I can't tell who that is straight off the bat. I'm guessing it's Adrian. It's either Adrian or Dave from the said Blues League. But it's very bluesy. And I think normally Adrian's a bit more melodic, more vocal based kind of licks that he plays. So yeah, like I can't tell who the guitar solo is, which is good. It's good to be kept on our toes like that, I think. That's a giveaway. That's got to be Adrian. I reckon the first one was Dave. That little Adrian does stuff like that on and some of the Bruce the records. So I would put my money on the second solo being Adrian Smith, because it's got this kind of Eric Johnson vibe to it. That's very, very typical there. The concept looks very, very story by Bruce Dickinson. So in terms of songwriting credits, I'm guessing that it's a Bruce Dickinson, obviously for lyrics, but also Steve Harris maybe for lyrical input as well. And I think it's Adrian Smith. But who knows? Maybe we won't get to see the album credits until that's released. I haven't read the credits on this video yet. But very cool. Reminds me of like the Eric Roper Maiden. Eric Roper also did stuff for Sleep, the artist design. The message of the song is pretty clear. It's basically saying, look at what's going on, keep your eyes peeled. Maiden have always been very subtly political in that way. They've always given us a dogma-free perspective on on what's going on, not just in their songs within fantasy, but with also, real things that are going on. 2 Minutes to Midnight, about the War Machine, the Trooper, like loads of historical stuff, but current stuff as well. So this is very current in terms of what's going on with the concept. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more, and it's just cool because Maiden have still got it. You look at all the other bands from that era. Obviously Metallica's an obvious one that comes up, and it's like they can't really sound like themselves. Maiden have consistently evolved and gone through all this metamorphosis in terms of lineup changes, but coming back to a really solid formula in terms of their lineup. And I think that's what happens when you have 6 guys that work together really well and don't let their egos get in the way, and don't let the nonsense get in the way of expression. So yeah, it's nice to hear Maiden still making good records, and yeah, I can say that when I listen to Maiden, it just makes me super happy. So if it wasn't hitting the spot, you guys would be the first people to know, like with the so yeah, I hope you enjoyed that commentary, and there's probably a lot more stuff to say, but I'm running out of time. Wow. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that commentary. There's probably a lot more stuff to say, but yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts and emotional response, and love Maiden. I've always loved Maiden, so it's fun to share that with you guys. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be doing some more videos soon. See you in the next one.